Learning and changing lives all the time. Next up, joining John, please give a warm welcome to the Chief Retail Community Banking Officer from Truist, Mr. Brant Standridge. And of course, he's talking with John Hope Bryant.
Truist is in the house. That's funny.
It's all right.
The Truist fan club is in the house. I will tell you, I thought Truist was a crappy name. I told Bill Rogers this. I said, "What are you guys doing? And what's this purple thing going on? You're not Prince." The color of the company is it's like a mellow purple. What's the?
No, it's dark purple. It's
Dark purple. Oh, excuse me, it's a dark purple. But so you have BB&T and SunTrust that came together, and I get to interview my friend Bill Rogers during the forum, who's now the new CEO, which is pretty cool. And we'll talk about that at another time. But when BB&T and SunTrust came together and created Truist, my first reaction was, you need to keep the SunTrust name. I mean, that's what Coca-Cola came from, and all this history. And the Coca-Cola formula was in the vaults of SunTrust, and all this history, blah blah blah. And of course, you guys took none of my counsel there. And I was just sitting back, going, what the heck's going on over there? It's a bank, but it's not called a bank. It's called Truist. And what is a Truist? And what's this crazy color? I love the color, but is that a bank color? And clearly, you guys knew exactly what you were doing. First of all, the color is very cool.
Well, we chose the color because it wasn't a bank color. No one else had it. And the other point I would make is that Bishop Jakes earlier in his comments about thinking about things 7 years, 10 years down the road, that's kind of how we thought about the name as well. It's how do we position the organization to thrive 10 years from now or 15 years from now. And we felt a new name and a new brand gave us a really fantastic opportunity to do that.
Yeah, well, it stands out. You remember it. I think it's a play on true. We never had this conversation, but true or truth.
Or trust.
Trust, truth, and trust. Interesting. I think it's no accident you left bank off the name, even though we all know you're a bank, so that you can have a broader range or scope. And what you guys have been doing, which I've had a front row seat on, at least a second row seat on, I'm extremely impressed. Let me say this. PhDs are good, and PhDs are better. And you can judge somebody a lot by what they actually do. Not what they say, what they do. I've not mentioned a lot of numbers during this forum of who's done this and who's done that. In fact, I don't believe I've mentioned any number other than I mentioned Shopify because you got to, when somebody's $130 million, that's meaningful in anybody's picture book. I mentioned the young lady last night, $50,000 backing Operation Hope, backing that. But I've mentioned very few numbers unless they're meaningful. Let me mention a number. Got to think about this before I say it to make sure I'm accurate. The largest commitment to Operation Hope from a FDIC-insured bank at one time in America's history is this new bank that I talked mess about that invested in Operation Hope $20 million. $20 million. And it's not the what, it's the how. We had several conversations. And by the way, I want you to understand, Brant is looking here, he's smooth, he's got his beautiful suit on. But Brant's the first member of his family to go to college. Don't let the suit fool you. Brant's father was a mechanic, is that right? Right here in Georgia.
That's right.
So you understand the struggles of people. You understand the common man. So we were talking backstage, recounting some of our conversations where I will intentionally sort of probe people to see how deep their commitment is. And if you walk away from our conversation, then I don't need to bother with you. You don't need to bother with me. We're both free to go do something else. And Brant just kept coming back for more. We'd go deeper. He'd come back for more. And then one day I just got edgy with him. Remember this conversation?
I do.
And I said, look, this has got to go beyond philanthropy. We don't need a handout. We need a hand. That's right. We need to be taught how to fish. Don't give me a fish. Unless I'm hungry, then fine. But beyond that, we need sustainability. These communities are markets. They are future customers. We deserve respect of consideration as a customer. We need to be prepared for the big game. And I think you should treat this as a business opportunity. And I waited for you to hang up the phone. And what did you do?
Well, that's exactly what we've done. And, you know, as John, as you know, and you and I had that conversation that day, both BB&T and SunTrust in coming together, both organizations had a really long history of supporting communities and through the foundation and through our efforts each day. But the pivot we felt that was important to make, and you pointed out, is the pivot to thinking about this as an opportunity not only to do good, but also to expand the market. And if you read anything about disruption and industries that are disrupted, disruptors always enter in the component of the market that's not served well. And there's a large portion of the US population that financial institutions largely have struggled to serve well. And that bears out in the statistics. And so we view it as an opportunity to, as you say, very, very well, do well, but also do good and also do well.
So to put some meat on this bone, and I don't know in what order I'm going to say this, we left this conversation. The next thing I know, Brant, who is now, you're in charge of the entire consumer banking enterprise. For how big is this? It's the sixth largest bank in America, right?
That's right.
What's the assets?
500 billion, approximately.
So
500 billion.
No, say it again.
500 billion.
$500 billion. $billion. We left this meeting. Then I hear he's hired an executive to run an entire group focused on us as a business marketplace. Now I'm waiting for the bureaucracy. I'm waiting for what comes next. Okay, what is this person's job? Then I hear they're supersizing this commitment to us, and they've went from a commitment to put us, to create a good number of Hope Inside locations with Operation Hope to, you have 2,000 branches?
We do.
Hold on now. They're going to put Hope Inside locations in 50% of all Truist branches. 50%. Listen to me. I'm going to say it again. We're talking about 1,000 branches within the Truist platform where you'll now be able to go directly or indirectly through hub locations or satellite locations connected to those hubs where people are trained, certified, work for me or work for them, who will help you get your credit score up. 54 points in 6 months is what we're doing. 120 points in 24 months. Nothing changes your life more than God or love than moving your credit score 120 points. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Half of black folks don't have a credit score below 640. I'm sorry, half of African Americans, not poor people, not struggling people, PhDs, advanced degrees, half of African Americans in the country have a credit score below 640, which means we're locked out of their free enterprise system. You be the nicest person in the world. Go to church every Sunday. Be decent. Go to work every day. But your credit score is 600, you're not getting a small business loan because it's considered risky credit. You're not getting a decent car loan. I don't care how nice you are. You're not getting a decent mortgage. You need 650, 680?
At least.
To get a decent, well-priced mortgage. My mother sitting here, her credit score is 854. She's not black, she's green. Every computer in America will just say yes to my mother. But half of us can't get access to credit, And what they're doing with this is saying, we believe. We're going to help, whether it's black and brown folks or poor white folks. We're going to help you get your credit score up. We're going to help you get your budget in place. We're going to help you become approvable and get the bank out of the no business. I'm sorry we can't do this. I'm sorry you've been declined. There's a notice coming to you in the mail. Please read that. Translation, we don't want to tell you no, you may sue us, so go read the credit report that comes in the mail. Let's just avoid the whole topic. Getting it out of the no business and back into the yes business. I know this does not sound radical. It's not radical, it's transformational. Give them a round of applause, please. Tell us how you're going to do this.
So John, a couple things I would say. When you think about it as an opportunity to expand the marketplace, one of the opportunities.
And this is not charity, right? This is not some handout.
Absolutely, this is about expanding the market potential. And interestingly, you have to meet individuals where they are. And so one of the things that we did with our partnership with Operation Hope is to actually go through a 60-day process, use the best analytical data mines that we have in the organization, and find out where we can make the biggest difference. So the reason that we're in 1,000 locations that you described is because we determined that in those 1,000 locations, we were within a distance of 5 million underserved bank clients.
Wow.
And so that gave us the opportunity, frankly, to reach more and in a different kind of way. We're also putting our resources at work in those same locations. So we have a team who deliver financial wellness inside of companies. And so we also took those resources and put them in the exact same 1,000 locations and 1,000 areas that we also have Operation Hope and Hope Inside. So it is, frankly, an opportunity for us to reach individuals that we can reach through our branch network. It's also an opportunity to reach individuals through 100,000 employers throughout our footprint. That's a significant opportunity for us. And for larger companies that employ thousands and thousands of people, we have a program called Truist Momentum that is a financial empowerment and education program that individuals enroll in, and we've impacted thousands and thousands of individuals through that program.
And you guys recently joined Financial Literacy for All.
Yeah,
and as I understood, I mentioned this last night, but I don't know if I got the numbers right. As I understand it, any employee of Truist who goes through financial coaching and counseling, I guess through Momentum on up, you guys have actually, given that 64% of Americans before the pandemic did not have $400 for an unplanned event, you guys have put a $750 individual emergency savings account in place for every employee. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
$40 million.
Yeah. And when you think about our purpose, John, our purpose is to inspire and build better lives and communities. And when we put our new organization together to Truist, we determined that we were going to be a purpose-oriented company. That was going to drive everything we chose to do each day. There is the build component, which are the things that we do. There's also the inspire component. And our goal with what we're doing through Truist Momentum and the program that you just described is to not only create that for our teammates at Truist, but also inspire other large employers to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have a number of companies that have been engaged to do just that. One other point I want to just make, and I'm really proud of the work our team who's here has done on this effort, is that if you looked at the average account in America today versus pre-pandemic, it's about 50% greater. There's a significant amount of liquidity in the system right now because of a massive amount of stimulus and also because of enhancements to child tax credits.
Yep.
It's a generational savings opportunity.
Yep. And
when you share the statistic that you shared earlier about how many families aren't on that journey and therefore can't make that $400 unexpected bill, yep, we see this as a massive opportunity to help individuals on that savings journey. So when you think about this from a how do we help and expand the market, we've done two things. One, our team has been very involved and created a toolkit that anyone in here can use that community organizations can use to ensure individuals know how to take advantage of these credits that exist for them.
Yep.
Because one of the things that the Treasury is struggling with is how do we reach families that may be eligible for credits but haven't received them. So our team has done quite a bit of work to ensure that we're enabling community organizations to be able to support their communities and take advantage of this opportunity.
You guys have also invested heavily in HBCUs.
We absolutely have.
Yeah.
One last comment I would make is if you look at the savings space, there hasn't been a tremendous amount of innovation in the last really 100 years. And we, midway through this year, actually partnered with an organization called Commonwealth. And Commonwealth is a think tank in the Northeast that has been very focused on increasing the savings rate in the United States. And so we partnered with them to create a new savings product that actually creates financial incentives for individuals to begin the savings journey. And we believe this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for individuals to start that, given the dynamics I described.
Yep.
We rolled that out mid-August as a pilot in a small group. We had 25,000 new savings accounts in the first 30 days.
Wow.
So it's an opportunity, and that's going back when we think about this as an opportunity to expand the clients that we serve. We not only think about the education component, which is incredibly important, but also how do we improve access through better products and through services that support a greater percentage of the population.
We're over time, as usual. My fault. I've enjoyed this. You're a man of few words. It's really it's fascinating talking to you because you don't say a lot, but you do a lot, which is my kind of person. What do you leave this audience with if the challenge is this? There's this presumption that if you're a hardcore capitalist, you can't have a heart. If you're going to be a profitable company, you can't invest in people. That somehow investing in communities is a lost leader. That everything you do around helping the underserved or the least of these God's children is somehow charity, which just drives me nuts. What if I challenged you and said, as one of the leading banks in America, which makes you one of the leading banks in the world, with $500 billion in assets, you can actually have a business plan that drives brand equity, shareholder value, and profitability long-term by doing well and doing good too. What's your response to that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, John. And when I think about our purpose, fundamentally our purpose is about making the pie larger. And so it's about having more individuals that have the ability to participate in what we have in this great country. And so I believe from a business perspective, the wealth gap is a real issue. And everything that business can do to actually expand the marketplace, expand those that are participating, it's good for all.
Sometimes you don't need a sermon. Sometimes you don't need excitement. Sometimes you just need $20 million and 1,000 branches. Somebody say thank you to Brant Standridge. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.